Oh, yeah, boy. What's going on? We're just chilling, brother. Move you over, yeah. Move you over, yeah. Open you. Do this. Nope, not that. There we go. God damn it. That actually made me jump. Oh. Nobody expects the geese. This is a fact. Ah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Soft resets for what? Oh yeah. Oh my god. I've had hard times this month, just worst one ever. Holy shit. Yeah, man, I hope you're doing okay. Like, fuck me, man. I'm glad you're still kicking, dude. Seriously. Being vague, I'm aware of what's going on in your region, but I'm glad you're alright, man. Seriously. Well, right enough to even say hi. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. The other one. I'm safe, my family is safe, but I fucking hate internet, bruh. Listen, bro. I have been fairly vocal about. Actually, no. I actually have been fairly reserved, in my opinion. Don't blame me. But I get it. Like, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad your family's safe. Obviously. Love to hear your take, to be honest. Bro, fuck Palestine. That's my fucking take on it. I'm sorry. No, seriously. Seriously, 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 seriously. Like, that's the stand. Like, I have a lot of Jewish friends. I have friends who go to fucking Israel. Fuck Hamas. Fuck them. Like, dude, like, we watched a video the other day about there was an Israeli rally. There was an Israeli rally in Los Angeles like a few weeks ago, and it's like, I'm sorry, the amount of common sense that was among the Jewish people versus the Palestinian people is fucking night and day. I'm sorry, man. I really am. I am. Like, if you can somehow convince yourself that you're in the right, I will seriously. Like like Yeah, she's in Israel. Like, dude, I'm just like, I hope you're not near the borders or anything. I mean, but like, here's what it's like, dude. It's ridiculous. It's fucking stupid. And people that don't want to choose a side are even worse. Like, dude, it's fucking obvious. Like, and people are like, "Oh, Israel did that," and I'm just like, I'm sorry, man. I've had okay, like, why is it so difficult to condemn Hamas? Why is it that we go through this every single time with an act of terror, right? Depending on what it's like, why is it so difficult? I don't choose a side because I ain't informed enough, but now I'm siding with whatever Max says. Here's a hint. Pick the side that doesn't rape, burn, and torture people. My fucking dude, my it was like my friend posted a fucking story on Instagram. It was like it's just cause they rape and murder people doesn't make them bad. It's like this is what some of y'all Palestinian supporters sound like. Like, dude, here's the thing. Okay, like let's imagine, right? Let's just enter this space for a second. Let's imagine we're on an even playing field, right? Like no side picking, right? If you go to a place where there are civilians and your whole objective is to kill as many of them as possible and capture them, I feel like that's a pretty fucking obvious like difference, you know? They're like Israel is really is territorial and they're mean to the Palestinians. It's just like maybe if they stop fucking bombing them every 2 seconds, I'd say good first 10 minutes. Fuck yeah, we got a good first 10 minutes. Like I'm sorry. It's like sorry, not sorry, but it's just like I find it very fucking hard to sympathize with people who will literally go out of their way to cause acts of terror. You know, and it's just like, well, it's not the Palestinian people's fault. And I'm just like, at this point, it doesn't even matter anymore. Yes, it is fucking tragic that there are civilians caught in the crossfire. It always is. It's always a bad thing, regardless of what side you're on. Civilians dying is a bad thing. They also rape women, soldiers, cut their heads, soldiers. Sorry if it's too graphic. Bro, I've been around the internet. As long as I'm not seeing it, like I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware that this shit is happening, right? I've seen the worst of the worst. I'm pretty sure Murr has seen the worst of the worst of the internet too. Like we're and it's just like, dude, here's what you want to know what my prediction is? Is Palestine isn't going to be a fucking country anymore. That's what this is going to be. I'm sorry, dude. The Western world is sick of this. It, we are sick and tired. Like we are sick and tired of like these fucking monsters like who it was never a country. Sorry, it was a whatever it was. But it's just like, dude, the rational common sense world and it's just like I'm not going to say sorry for this. It's like we're tired of it. We're tired of like getting our shit pushed in by a bunch of people who for some reason think whatever they think, you know? Like we saw it in America with post 9/11 given it was a bit skewed, but we're seeing it again now because I saw a great video about it. Like I and they're totally they think they're justified like that is the that's how you know it's completely lost on them, you know, they think they are completely justified. It doesn't really like you're in a space where you can speak freely because seriously like we're all tired of it regardless of, like we're tired like as normal people like we're just sick of it like and it's like Hamas is evil. It is evil, 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 evil. Like half of the mod team was banned from the N word at one point. That's true. That's fucking true. Like, dude, we're sick and tired of this, dude. Like, this ideology that we're seeing in Palestine doesn't work because it's not a. It's like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so you fight war over a few things like territory, resources, money, right? They think, and it's like, oh, we want our Holy Land back, and it's just like, okay, I'm not the most well versed. Like, I'm not the most well versed on religious history, but here's the thing I do know is that like it's just like the it's just their spot. They've been the Jewish and Israeli people have been there for thousands of years. Thousands of years. That's where they went when they were freed from Egypt. It's just like, and the whole reason Palestine is there to begin with is because during the age of the Roman Empire, the Romans evicted the Israeli people from their land, and and then the and then like years later, like, okay, the Ottoman Empire started growing. Now Israel is part of the Ottoman Empire, and then you have the Muslim faith, and they built they built their Holy Land exactly where Jerusalem was, and it's just like, oh shit, here we go. And then 1948, post World War II, okay, you now have millions of displaced Jews. Where do they go? You leave it up to NATO to like, oh, well, they had this plot of land in the Middle East that was there for, I don't know, like thousands of years, hundreds of thousands, like hundreds of years, thousands of years. Maybe it makes a little more sense to just like, give them back. Oh, but there are people that live there now. Well, they're gonna have to share. They're gonna have to share. They're going to have to share. And the problem is, these people don't like that. They don't like sharing. And the thing, it's just like, it's a fucked up situation. But I'm sorry, like when the Jewish people moved back to that region, right? They weren't evicting people. They weren't forcibly ripping them out of their homes. They weren't doing that. But when the Palestinians just saw this wave of Jewish immigration, they were just like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. And they started fucking bus bombing, just acts of terror, like blowing people up, suicide bombings, bus stabbings, bus bombings, car bombs. And it got to the point where it was so bad that they're just like, okay, Israel is recognized now as a country, as a place of territory. And you just have this fucking wave of injuries. It's just like, oh, fuck Israel, fuck these people. It's like they don't care. Like, that's the thing. They don't see like Palestine doesn't see Israeli people as people. Like, that's the most fucked up thing about it. Is that they don't consider them people, which is just absolutely fucking there's not even a word for it. Where you just have to go and just be like, how? How is there something in this timeline? How is there something in this day and age where they are so hell bent on believing that these people that, I don't know, walk, talks, look like us, they're just not fucking people. They don't have thoughts, feelings, emotions, families, children. Like they just think like, no, you're evil. Like, they don't know you. They don't give a shit about you. They just want you dead. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, like, I've had Muslim friends too. And it's just like, thankfully the Muslim friends I've had have been fairly progressive. And this was years ago. Years ago. I don't talk to them anymore. But like, they were good people. And I'm like, I know that person in this little plot, like, didn't do the fucking burqa shit. Didn't he just like, that was just how he was raised, right? And that's completely different than what's going on there. And what's going on there is just this tyrannical, just you are worse than dirt, like you, and just like, we want this fucking plot of land. And here's a little news flash, right? As someone who's fairly well versed in the world economy, Palestine won't exist at the end of this. Like, I am almost certain of that. I am not kidding. because we can look at the rest of the Middle East at a glance and just go like, yeah, it's completely fucked. This way of thinking doesn't work. It doesn't work. We have seen this across the Middle East, and they just are so hell bent on dying by their beliefs. And fine, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. We've seen this throughout history. Like, you can look back at World War II. Look at World War II Japan, right? They were so nationalist that they were willing to sacrifice their own culture, a their own people, to just die by their beliefs. And we're seeing that today with just everything. We're seeing that with like this religious conflict, and it's not even a conflict. Like, Israel has tried. Israel has tried. You want to know how they fucking responded? They bombed them. At this point, they've been bombing them for so long that I don't even know what they're bombing them about anymore. Does anybody know what they're bombing them about other than exactly? It's not even a religious thing at this point. It's just like, so I saw a great argument for it. It was, they're fighting to keep the fight alive. As I said, they killed a lot of Arabs on that day. Like, dude, like, they're fighting for fighting's sake. They don't care anymore. They're not thinking about the glory that comes from battle. They are thinking, it's all I know and it's all I want to do. That is a malicious, evil way of thought. And then to convince people, children, because like a lot of the Palestinian soldiers are around the age or under 18. Like, they are kids. And they are convincing these kids that this is what they want and this is what they need, and they can't think for themselves. And you have this endless fucking implosion of just disgusting, malicious thoughts and actions, and it's just like it's getting to the point where it's like it's all they know. It's all they know, and it's like the worst part is that if they die for that belief, it's almost a form of suicide because they did it themselves. They did it to themselves. There was nothing they could do. It's terrible. And then you have the Israeli people who are just like, what did you expect? What did you expect was going to happen? We were just going to let you kill, like, 200 people and kidnap more at this music festival? Like, you really think we're going to let you do that? You really think we were going to level build? The only videos I've seen have been of the killings at that festival and them leveling buildings in Gaza. Like, that's the response. Like, these people, like, you have pissed, like, this is one of those things. It's you have pissed off one of the biggest military powers in the world. Like, what is it? And it's just like, you really think that you're going to come out on top of this? I don't even think they don't think like that. There's no way they do. They just, like, again, it's fighting for fighting's sake. They don't care if they win. They just want to take out as many Israeli people as possible, if not all of them. And you're just like, cool. Good luck committing social, cultural suicide. Congrats, you fucking succeeded. It's amazing. It is amazing that I'm seeing this in my lifetime. You would think that, like, oh man, most of the Western world is so sick of this terrorism nonsense that we would move past it. Nope. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I missed the. But I mean, legit, It wasn't a country before Israel was established, but they just want all of us dead. Killed a lot of Muslims, and people from all over the world came here to work. Yes, exactly. And the blood of the people of Gaza is on Hamas's hands, and they're letting them move out to different. Yeah, they can't leave. There are people who don't want to be there, and they can't leave. They're dragging you by the shirt collar and like, you're a conscript now. You have to go die for whatever we believe in. I heard about an interview with someone from Hamas, and he literally said they will do anything they can until they destroy Israel because they're a nation of martyrs. I give the dude, seriously, Palestine isn't going to be a place. Like, I want to see the map. I want to see a land map, a territorial map of of what it looks like when this is over. That whole strip is going to be Israel at the end of this. It is. And my fellow peers from high school post anti-Israel stuff. Like, it's so wild to me. It's because it's like you want to be. People want to be. They want to be the outlier. They want to think that they're like outright. No, we don't. It's just like it's like what through. It's like a phoenix through trial of fire. Something new will be reborn, and it's just like you are. It's one of those things where it's like, who is Palestine supporters? Who support like military support? Like who can they fall back on? I genuinely can't think of anything. Is there any nation that will support them in what they're doing? Some of my closest buddies are Jewish, so I'm pro-Israel no matter what. I don't care. But it's like, dude, how am I literally always baffled by the choices people my age make? Right? It's crazy. Like, I'm sorry, we have fucking eyes and ears to make our own minds up. It's insane. It is actually insane. I'm going to say that a lot because it really is just so fucking ludicrous. It's 2023, man. Like, seriously, we're in the time of, like, it has never been a more peaceful time in human history, and we're still seeing it. Because only a few Americans are actually smart, and you're part of the smart ones. I thought going pro-Israel was just going to be an American default just because we're allies with them, so media will be biased. And the other thing, but it's also like, no, I really don't get it. Like, here's it's like, this is what's going to happen, man. Is that, like, we have all of these people who, they just want to be on the side. They want to be on the side that's losing, right? Because they want to feel like the underdog. They want to be like, they don't care about what the message is. They don't care about that. They want to be the underdog. They want to be the fucking, like, yeah, I'm supporting Palestine because, yeah, the victim mentality. And, like, my biggest fucking argument, especially here in America, is that whenever there's one of these Palestinian rallies or an Israeli rally, like the Palestinian rallies, you just look at them and you're like, you are never going to go there. You are never in a million years going to go and fight over there. You're not going to do it. Are you really going to throw your life away in America that is peaceful and secure to go die, almost guaranteed die for a cause that you genuinely don't believe in, but you're just wanting to shout at the top of your lungs? Here's the thing: Americans just wanted to fucking cause conflict with their own country. They did. Like, we're bored. That's what we are. We're bored. The Western world is bored. We need violence. We need conflict. And when Israel and Palestine, when that fucking candle was finally lit, we're like, finally, we have something to complain about. And here's the thing, dude, is that, like, you see those Israeli rallies in America, and you're like, I would fully believe at least, like, I would say, I'll be really basic. I'm like, you know what? At least like 5 or 10 of them would go. They would. Because it's just, Iran, Russia, China, and North Korea support them. Great side to be on. Yeah, good luck with getting support from Russia. Good luck with getting support from Iran and North Korea. Good luck. Good fucking luck. I think your only chance is China. And they're dealing with Taiwan. So it's just like, Russia can't even complete a land invasion of Ukraine, a neighboring country. Yeah, they're going to fucking fly their resources on the other side of the fucking globe to go fight for a war they don't believe in. Iran is run by fucking terrorists. China's dealing with Taiwan. North Korea can't even launch a missile to hit its target. Like, it's never going to work. It's just never going to work. And it's like, if you do drop a bomb big enough to get the world talking about it, you are going to be so deeply in the wrong. It's the court of public opinion. It is just like, regardless of what side you're on, it's just like, it's just like, if the public is just like, you're bad, you're wrong, and you're just like, here's the thing. I would say most rational people are like, they see this and they don't, it's just like, excluding Israel-Palestinian names, right? You're just like, oh, this country just launched a surprise attack, killing 200 people and kidnapping all of them. You're like, well, that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. That's monstrous. Like, that's evil. And you're like, and then you're like, oh, Palestine did it. I don't know if it was that bad. I was like, I'll throw this card in there. It's like they don't like it because like you're white, and they're like, oh, they don't like Israel because you're white. I'll throw that card in there because part of it is true. A part of it is true. You're just like these people are oppressed. They did it to themselves. They've been doing it since the 70s. Like they've been doing it to themselves. And I'm gonna send it a rocket from over. Like, dude. Like, dude. It's like you have like Israel literally has a system called the Iron Dome to blow rockets out of the sky. Like it's like it's like a modern human fighting a caveman. Like, and the modern human has a fucking gun. It's just like it's just like bang. What's up? Like that's what it is, dude. The worst part, it's like the worst part is that like yeah, there's a lot of people who are gonna die, and there's a lot of people who are not involved even a little bit, who don't care either way. And it's just like that's the worst part about it, you know? Because there are people in Palestine who are just going to suffer from this, and there are people in Israel who are going to suffer from this. But it's just like the choice was made. That's the problem. The choice was made, and you made your bed. Now you have to sleep in it. That's what happens. And it literally, it's the fuck around and find out mentality. You see, it's like, do we need the chart? Do we need the chart? Do I need to pull up the chart? This is peak fuck around and find out. This whole situation is peak fuck around and find out. Like, dude, ridiculous, absolutely stupid. They're not gonna be a territory. They're not gonna be a people anymore. They're gonna be dispersed to the fucking cosmic wind. And the worst part here, you want to know what the worst part is? Is that the people that are dispersed after this is over, that hatred is still gonna be within them. They need to like. Then it becomes more of the choice of the individual, where you're like, oh man, like a lot of people I knew died because of the conflict between my country and the other country. You have the choice of letting it fester and letting it get worse in your soul, or you just get over it. You know, that is a big pill to swallow. Don't get me wrong. God gave them brains and they used it for idiocy. Exactly. And like I saw a video of like it was like this white guy in Palestine. He's just like, look at what Israel's doing. They're cutting off water supplies. That's what happens in war. You know, like that's what they're cutting off food and they're cutting off resources. And I'm like, this is a war now. You're not going to get sympathy from your fucking enemy. They're going to bomb you back to the Stone Age. Trial by fire, my friend. Trial by fire. That's what this is. Like, and like on top of it, it's just like, dude, like the Jewish people have been the most persecuted fucking people in all of human history. And like that's the thing that like why the fuck is Hamas so hell bent on war? It's their religion, it's their ideology. Ideology is the killer of civilizations. They think it's their God-given duty to die for their cause. Like that is literally what they believe. It is something they genuinely believe in. Like they want this. Like they want to die for a cause, and they're just like they're just so lost in their and like the problem is it's like it's literally propaganda. It has been drilled into their heads for years. Not so fun. Not so fun fact. Jewish population has not returned to pre-World War II levels. Exactly, dude. Like the Jewish people have been the most persecuted people in all of human history. A Hamas member did factually say in an interview they will do whatever it takes to destroy Israel because they are a nation of martyrs. Like they want to die for it. They want to commit an act of basic human extinction. Imagine, imagine if like Putin said he wanted to exterminate all of Ukraine, every Ukrainian person. You would think, holy shit, you're the most evil person on the planet, which I'm sure isn't true. I'm sure more like Hamas is willing to make everyone martyrs. Like they are willing to kill what whoever and whatever it takes. Like and it's really disgusting. It's like we will never coexist with this mentality ever, ever. We just won't. We will not coexist with this. Like, and there are. It's like this mentality where you just like it's cultural. It's cultural suicide. It's like why. It's just like why they chose this path. I personally don't know. Will they die for it? They've already said they will, and it's just like are you gonna have some outliers who are just gonna turn tail and run? Absolutely. And it's just like it's a disgusting, disgusting thing. It is absolutely horrid. It's just like that's the thing about ideology. Is that what it turns into? Is it turns into an argument of ideology? Is that you have it's like ideology is the destructor of civilizations. If you can somehow convince people that what they're doing is correct and that they should die for it, that's how you destroy your own nation. That's how you destroy your own people. That's just how you do it. There's no bomb. There's no it's ideology. Ideology is the worst thing that humanity has ever conceived. And it's like good things can come from ideology if it's genuinely good. But here's the thing is that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know? They believe, they are genuinely convinced that they're doing the right thing, you know? Like we saw this at the end of Stalin era where like people were sent to gulags and they were and like the guards when Stalin died and like all of his atrocities were finally brought to light, these guards committed suicide because they genuinely were like, I thought what I was doing was right and I don't want to deal with the repercussions of what's about to happen to me. And so they killed themselves. Like there's going to be a period of time where they are just like, holy shit, like I'm an evil bastard. I made this choice to be evil. And like whatever they do to react to that is going to be entirely up to them. And it's not going to be a pleasant one. Because the other thing is that like you're getting a good portion of the world that fucking hates you. You know, like it's like oh don't listen to what people think about you. It's just like they're going to fucking hate you. Like 100 years down the line, right? Like this is just the time that Israel puts its foot down. It is. It is. It's the time that Israel puts its foot down. And they're like, we're not gonna be another victim in history. We're just not going to do it. Like you can look back to the fucking like time before the Roman Empire existed. They have always been the victim. They factually speaking, they have always been the victim as far as recorded history. You can look at multiple sources. Like there's Egyptian text that talks about the slavery of Jewish people. There's Roman text about the slavery of the Jewish people. And then World War and we all know about World War II. It's insane, dude. Absolutely bonkers. It's like, good luck to Palestine, bro. You're gonna fucking need it. Because like, what do they? Okay, what do they do when they if big if they win, which they won't? How are you gonna convince the rest of the world what you did was right? That's the thing. Is that like that's the rule of war? Is that history is written by the winner, right? In like 10 years, and like 10 years ago, the war started because they made tunnels into citizens' places. Like it's like we live like we really as a species fail to understand. We really fail to understand that we live in an era now of massive information, right? The reason that history was written by the victors is because people didn't see it. People didn't live it. People didn't experience it. We are literally on the other side of the planet, right? We're almost as far away from this conflict as it can be, and we know about it as it's happening. You know, so it's like to put it as lightly as possible. It's almost like the average person is there. You know, they're experiencing it in a form less than what you're actually dealing with, you know? And knowing new details almost every day. Every single minute, there is something coming out about it, right? There's new information, and you just boom, 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 and you can build concrete like decision making faster. So it's just like it's just like in like 10, 20 years, right? It's just like Palestine is just gonna be looked on as just like I can't believe it. Like Hamas in general is just like I just am like this is what the conversation is gonna be. It's just like I can't believe we let it get that bad. It's like that's always what it happens. It's like oh I can't believe it got that bad. What do you mean you can't believe? Of course it's just like yeah it just did. It got that bad. It's a bad thing. They live streamed some of the murders. They were proud about it. Exactly. Like dude, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like dog. Half of y'all were rooting for them. It's the same thing. Okay, like you can actually like I keep relating this to like World War II because it is very similar. It is very similar. Is that there's always like we as a species like it's the if you don't learn history you're doomed to repeat it, right? There were people in America before America was involved in World War II where we were actually like, well, why should we be so mad at the Germans? They're not doing anything to us. It's like maybe they're sick and tired of this and that. There were sympathizers with Nazi Germany. Can you imagine that? Like the most evil of evil powers in modern history, there were people in the real world who were convinced that that Germany was right. The people who are supporting Palestine in America, those are the people who would have supported Nazi Germany. They would have. And they're going to say they wouldn't have, but they would. They would. They would. And you can't convince me otherwise. Seriously, there's a great Jordan Peterson video about it. Honestly, nowadays I'd say, yeah, I could imagine it. It's like they would. They would support Nazi Germany in a way. Like maybe not actively, but they would be spoken about it. You would know. You would know. Fun fact: most of America was rooting for the Nazis before they found out that they were what they were doing. Oh yeah, no, I totally believe it. I like there were people who rooting for them even when they found out what they were doing. Like, good lord, like, and we're seeing the same thing now. We're seeing the exact same thing now. But you better fucking believe it. It's like if for whatever reason like we find out like it's like oh Hamas just leveled a building in Los Angeles. It's just like dude, there's a it's like are you? It's like you're serious? That's what this is. It's just like it's just like that's like this is their Pearl Harbor. This is Israel's Pearl Harbor. This is what happens. You awaken an ungodly fucking firestorm, and you are not going to reap the benefits. If anything, you are only going to be persecuted for the rest of your life if you are found out that it's like, oh, you were a Hamas supporter and you fought for them and you're somehow still alive. Like, you are going to be ostracized from society. You are just going to be the lowest of the low. Like, I saw a great another good example is just like imagine like the cartel for whatever reason the Mexican cartel decided that they wanted to kill 200 people at a music festival in New Mexico or 1,000 people. People avoid picking a side on 9/11. Ask people avoid asking for a friend. So the personally, I'm on the belief that it was an inside job, genuinely, but we invaded Iraq because Palestinians, Egyptians, and Pakistanis leveled two fucking buildings, and we started one of the longest world conflicts. And it was one of those things where it's just like there was no. The thing was there was no right side. There was no noble cause for 9/11 because we had a leader who was a bit of a nut. But what it did spark was an absolutely unfiltered side of patriotism and nationalism, which is a dangerous thing if your enemy has more nationalism than you, because the difference between ideology and nationalism is that nationalism survives. Ideology is willing to die for it. But nationalism is that if you're like, I love my country, I love the land it sits on, I love the meaning behind it, I'm going to fight for it. But I will make sure I survive to maintain this mentality, this national feeling of pride. That's the difference. But with this ideology is just that, like, and like I see that nationalism in Israeli people, where they're like like they are going to fight to keep this fire alive. Some of them are more willing to die for it than others, but they are going to keep it alive. Palestine isn't going to do that. They're just not going to do that. No way. They're just not going to. It's not going to happen. Like, I feel like a better example might be the Gulf War because America, like, we came in and we fucking destroyed everything. Or if I get asked if I'd fight for my country, I'd say fuck no because this place is shitty. That's the choice you have to make. Like, you have to. Sometimes it's against your will, but there are still choices you can make within the against your will part. Like, the Gulf War, like Desert Storm, like we destroyed that fucking place because we were just like we need to kill Saddam Hussein. We need his oil. We need that land. We're going to bring it back to a state of equilibrium. We're the saviors. It's just like here's the thing. It's just like America. If you fuck with us in any, even though people are so convinced otherwise, America will fucking level your country. And I see that with Israel too. And this is a smaller conflict. I would see like Israel is some that they are going to level Palestine. They might not even need American support genuinely. Like we sent what 2,000 troops to Israel. I seriously struggle to believe that we're gonna lose even one of them. Like seriously, I don't even know if they have anti-aircraft. They can like they might have like heavy armor, but I'm like, dude, can you fire a rocket at an F-35? What do you do if there's a fucking legitimately an AC-130 circling your vicinity? What are you gonna do about that? Are you gonna shoot at it with your handgun? Just go. America is driven by unending greed and nationalism, and the nationalism is fucking trained into children in school because you have to pledge to the American flag. The problem is that we don't have a war to fight for. We need a conflict. America doesn't have a conflict right now. So, as a society, the nationalism kind of dies if there is no if there's no sustenance to it. Like greed is a part of it. Like there's a lot like like politicians, bankers, like big money people are are driven by greed. But like the average American, right? The average soldier, they are not fighting. They just here in case Iran was Joey's of shit. Oh, dude, in America, dude, even in California, dude, there are people here itching. Like, I mean, like seriously itching for it. They want to fight. I'm convinced America will bring about either the end of the world or somehow fix everything. Here's the thing. America will not fire first. I think in most cases, America will not fire first. If you attack us, it's like poking a sleeping bear. Like, it's not going to work for you. It just isn't. It won't work. Because apart from apart from apart from our American government, we have one name. Technically two we have two names that will put the fear of God into any person opposing us. And those two names are Lockheed and Martin. They're dude. Hold on. You know what? I'm curious. What's Lockheed Martin's ticker? LMT. One day we learn a massive oil reserve has been found in some random country, and the next day you know America's been there. Oh, dude, we have American air bases all over the world. I think people will seriously like America will be your best friend if you align with us. Which sounds really bad, but we don't. We're not. We don't have. We don't have like the bad shit. I mean, we have a lot of inconvenient shit, and some stuff is kind of bad. But for the most part, the message of freedom and prosperity to genuine, like to individual people, we understand because the whole reason America was founded was based on individual liberties and the power of the individual. That's why that's why America is the strongest nation in the world. It's not because of our military might. It definitely helps, but the mentality of individual freedoms is something that resonates with every single person on the planet. It does. Like that's the reason people come here. Freedom from what? Debts, controlling government. It's the freedom that you can do and live whatever you want to live, right? And even if this is where nationalism comes back together, right? Is that regardless of how many people think the American dream is dead, there's one person at least who will believe that it's still alive and can be pushed. Seriously. That is what will keep America alive. And with that mentality, it will literally it will last forever. Like when you say you can give power to the people, when you can give power to the individual person, like your vote matters. Glad it happened when Biden is in charge and not Trump. Oh, dude. I don't know, man. Trump might have done something. Canada's easier place to achieve the American dream. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because in Canada, you are not protected by your Bill of Rights. That's the thing. In America, the Bill of Rights will protect you from the government itself. Seriously. Like seriously, dude. Like I feel like I took it for granted for a while. But like the the bill of legislation, just like our amendments will keep you like safe because they're like we have this in the Supreme Court. Is if it violates one, if it violates one of your amendments, if it violates one of your liberties, it's immediately in your favor. You know, if the Supreme Court proves that the government fucked up in a basic sense, it's just like, oh, does it break one of these amendments? Congratulations, you just beat the government. Because there are higher levels of power. There are like levels in the military. Like, dude, if you went to an American general, right, and you asked him, like, would you fire on civilians? Nice liberties, bro. Are they from your Bill of Rights? Like, if you went to an American general and said, would you fire on American civilians if you were told to do so by by a by your president or an American leader? I would almost die on the fact that they would say no. Like you would have to go pretty fucking far down the food chain to find like that one idiot who's just like, yeah, I'd do it if someone told me to. But like most soldiers are there for the same fucking reason. They're just like, I want to serve my country, preferably not die for it, but I want to serve my country. I want to be a part of it. You know, like that's the reason like America has the green cards conscripts. Like you have people that come from Mexico, you have people that come from all over the world, and it's like, I'll fight in your military because I want to live here. I want to pursue my freedoms. This is like the only place where you can come here as an immigrant, right? Either go through the lengthy process of becoming a citizen, or you join the military and just serve for however long you're needed, like a year or two at most, maybe 3, 4, 5, and you may never even see actual combat. Boom, you're a citizen. You fought. You did your duty. You did more than like a born citizen, and you will have a higher respect for the place you live because you put in the effort to do it. You know, you worked hard to get there, and like with that comes national pride. You know, it's like, oh, I work even if you didn't fight for it. If you didn't fight for it, you never saw active combat. You're just like, I actually worked for this citizenship. They're Mexican like conscripts who are just like I like that are civilians that probably have a better understanding of what America is than people who were born here. You know, because they know it's going to take some sacrifice. Like you know, like you can look as shallow as my gardener. You know, like I don't know if he's a fucking citizen or not, but I know he works hard. And I know he wouldn't have the same opportunity on the other side of the wall. You know, that's the difference. You can't get that anywhere else. Like that's what America is, dude. Like seriously, that's what America is. And then it's like and then there's supporting nations, and the only thing is that whenever we get to an election year, which next year is an election year, like seriously, there are people like who don't even live in America who pay more attention to the American election than Americans do. You know what I mean? Here, hold on. Let me take this fucking hoodie off. It's hot. Ah, much better. So here's the thing: is that we may see one of the most. I genuinely think we might see one of the most surprising elections this year because I think Trump's going to be running again. We have Mark DeSantis on the Republican side who's going to run, and then on the Democrat side, we have Robert Kennedy, who is really interesting. So everyone agrees Joe Biden is completely senile. I'm interested to see how many people turn their opinion around when it comes down to the election. I'm convinced Joe Biden is not going to win next year, right? But I do think there's a strong possibility we get another Democrat. But which one? So like, okay, wait. I'm actually curious. Like I'm not. Who's running in the 2024 election? Who are the 2024 presidential candidates? Oh, he's running as an independent. Oh no. But everyone here in California, when it comes down to it, blindly liberal, no matter what it means. If Kennedy's independent, that's gonna be bad. This is the guy from the fucking Young Turks. Why is the guy from the Young Turks fucking running for president? Oh god. Dude, seriously, seriously, if Robert Kennedy was a fucking was blue, oh, that's a huge mistake. And he's promoted to debunk claims that childhood vaccines are linked to autism. That just killed his campaign. Seriously, you don't like that completely kills his campaign. It does. Oof. And then we know what happened with Trump. A lot of people love Trump, and it's gonna. Okay, so my predictions is it's going to be Ron DeSantis and Trump on the Republican side, and then on the Dem side, you have Biden. And then it's like I don't even know who these fucking fuckers are. And how, I don't think it's gonna be this fucking guy. I just am like, I don't know who this is. If this is all we got, oh man, dude, the Republican side is looking really strong. My government sucks. Biden is the real bruh. I don't know if Trump would have done the same. I think he would have. The problem with Biden is that you can't say for certain that it was his idea, and it most likely wasn't. It most likely wasn't. I think Trump would have been he would have been much more vocal about it. I do think at the very least he would have sent something. Problem with Biden is that someone else is actually leading. Yes, that is 100% true. That is 100% true. Like World War III is about to start, so U.S. trying to stop it. I think Trump would be a much bigger deterrent than Biden. Because that's the thing, is that Trump was a scary motherfucker. Like, regardless of what your personal opinions about him are, and regardless of what your opinions of his policies are, he was a scary dude. Like, and you're just like, you look at him, you're like, oh, this guy is, like the golf, like he looks like he plays golf. He just looks like a normal, but like The problem is that like he got shit done, and he got it done quickly. Dude, he dropped a Moab on an ISIS base, like, and fucking leveled it. I mean, like, and we like during Trump's presidency, we went from hearing about ISIS all the time to never again. Like, mainly because people were bitching about his presidency and how ridiculous it was. But he did get shit done. And it's like with Biden when he pulled out of Afghanistan, it was one of the worst things. Oh, it was one of the worst things we ever did. That one I could believe was Biden's decision of to pull out of Afghanistan because that was kind of Trump's idea too. But the difference is that Trump was probably going to do it much slower. I mean, when we left Afghanistan, it was like overnight. It was like overnight. I mean, it was an awful thing. That was like people really forget about that. That was a really bad. That was really bad because we were stabilizing that country, and then we left, and it fucking completely fell into the hands of the Taliban. It was completely worthless. Here's the thing: is that okay? If Trump wins again, I think it'll go along the lines of this: is that Trump would support Israel to an extent, but not to the level of it is now. But Trump would still treat Israel as allies and would put a very, very, very strong warning is that if you fuck with them more than you already are, we're going to bomb you back to the Stone Age. I'm sure he would like. I'm sure because he was very vocal about condemning terrorist groups. He would have condemned Hamas immediately. I feel like Trump would do something a bit drastic. I think the only threat would be from really China. I wouldn't even because the thing is that the Russia Ukraine conflict started after Trump, and Trump was pretty much doing a good job at staving that off. He met with Putin. Like people forget that he literally like he crossed the no fire zone in North Korea. It was the first time in human history that an American president crossed into North Korea. No one takes that like everyone takes that for granted. That is a huge, huge achievement. Like seriously. It had never been done before. It was the first real act of diplomacy with North Korea, and we all forget about it. And it should be regarded as one of the most pivotal moments in North Korea's history because that was the first crack in the armor. You know, dude, he got shit done. That's the thing is that like he got shit done for better or for worse, like him or hate him. He got shit done. And then the thing, and it's like I think about Ron DeSantis too, is Ron DeSantis is this kind of same way, just a bit further. You know, he's just a bit deeper. You know what I mean? He's just a bit. I had a great photo though. Like they just focus on the LGBTQ shit, but I mean, they. It is a good image. It is a great picture. I don't know. I don't know enough about Ron DeSantis to really say what he would do in a situation involving another country's security. That's the thing is that Trump's a businessman by heart and by trade. So he knows what it takes to. He knows what compromise is. That's the thing. That is a that is a really big thing about a politician that I really look for is they know where the line is. They know what the compromise is. Trump knows what the compromise is. Trump knows where it's like, okay, this is too far. You know, I'm going to tell you that it's too far. Like he wasn't afraid of being called a moron or an idiot. Like that's the thing is that he didn't care about his image. Trump like is what America. Trump is like genuinely like what the embodiment of America was. Like high take, you shouldn't be able to vote past the age of 50. Good luck trying to implement that. And that's the thing I really liked about Robert Kennedy. And dude, if he, just God, if he runs for independent, he would have. I think he really would have run. Okay, so the problem with Kennedy is that he's a Kennedy, and like his entire bloodline has been fucking exterminated. I think running as an independent is if he wins even like one state, I think that will be just a shock. Even if he was a vice president, like seriously, even if he was a vice president, that would be good. It's like because he was against the mandated vaccines. Like he's a health nut. He's a fucking his background is in pharmaceuticals. The reason the reason Kennedy is almost certainly not going to win. The reason he is almost certainly not going to win is because he's an independent. People don't know, seriously, people don't know that the independent is even a thing. Seriously, they don't know. They don't know that this is a thing. They don't know. He was one of the only politicians to ever go on the JRE experience. You know, JRE podcast. Like he watch that Joe Rogan podcast. It's interesting. It's a really interesting podcast. He has a lot of interesting shit to say. And it's just like if he ran with any party, he would win purely because of Karens and helicopter parents. Dude, that's what I'm saying. If he was running for the Democratic side and he won the Democratic nomination, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing is that we have all of these candidates, right? We have all of these fucking people. They have to win the nomination to go against Biden, right? They have to go against the other Democratic Party. So he has to whoever wins the Republican nomination has to debate and do whatever. It's a big spiel, but genuinely, dude, if Kennedy won the Democratic nomination, I really really struggle to believe that he would lose. I really do. Because the entire like California would be like, "Oh, he's blue, done." The only thing he doesn't really align with as far as like liberal policies is the vaccines. He was so actively vocal about how bad it was that we were forcing the vaccines on people. And a lot of people would vote for him just because of the name Kennedy. They know what that is. You know what I mean? Like they know the Kennedy name. Like it's ingrained in American history for God's sakes. For one reason or another. But if Ron DeSantis wins, because I don't know who any of these other people are. It's like, I have I knew a guy. I had a friend who was super super into politics. I would have loved to get his take on this. He is way more educated than I, but I have no idea if I could even contact him, which is a real shame. Oh, but my like the people I'm watching, Kennedy, DeSantis, and Trump, because I genuinely, I we okay. The other thing is, oh shit. So wait, what's this? Campaigns 2016 to 2024, when candidates entered and exited their races. Trump 2024. Super Tuesday. As Kenny would 100% win in any party. I don't think he's outspoken enough to win the Republic. He would trample the Democratic side. He would trample them. I think if we saw like if he got like even the vice president seat, that would be like huge. Like if he got like any major seat in a political system, I think that would be a good idea. That would be a good thing. Hold on, let's see. I will. It'll be a cold day in hell before Gavin fucking Newsom runs for president, dude. Fuck that guy. It's gonna be another Biden Trump race, dude. Oh my god! Wait, that's so. I completely forgot about that. People are betting. There's gambling odds. Oh my god! I completely forgot about this. They're gambling odds on who's gonna win. Bill Gates. Bill Gates has has worse odds than Kanye West. That's saying something. That is saying something. Holy shit. I would take that as a form of pride. So if you bet on Republicans, if you put $500, if you put $100, or no, if you put $1,000 on the Republicans, you would actually lose. Even if they won, you would lose $110 on that bet. The problem is like, okay, wait, where's Kennedy on this list? Okay, he's not too. Oh, that's right, Michelle Obama. Are the thing is that he's above Ron DeSantis though. Dwayne the Rock Johnson is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seriously, seriously. Okay, I'm back. Got some pizza. Oh, good. I'm glad you're still like taking care. It seems like you're still taking care of yourself, which is good. we're just looking at now. God, I used to never give a shit about politics, but now I'm like kind of into this, like especially when they treat it with no fucking care in the world. Yeah, I live close to Tel Aviv, so it's safe here. Good. I'm assuming, but I just have to ask. Like, I'm assuming, do you have like some form of evacuation plan? Like, I seriously doubt they'll get to you, but like, you know what I mean? I'm sure your country has some form of like way to get like its citizens like safe to safety, right? But like, dude, it's such a shame that. Okay, so I'm actually gonna be torn on the next election, dude. Honestly, I'm gonna look up more. Like, I'm gonna look up more information about Robert Kennedy because, like I just need. It's just like I need to know more, man. Oh, he did it on my birthday. Hold on. Demands of the censorship complex in which big tech censors, deplatforms, shadow bans, and algorithmically suppresses any person or opinion the government asks them to. Transform the police, train them in de-escalation and medication skills, in mediation skills. Ooh, we dyslexia, and partner with them with neighborhood organizations, significantly drop the level of chronic diseases in our children. Kennedy has, has blamed childhood vaccines for autism. Lead the way towards national reconciliation. Take racial healing seriously through a program of targeted community repair. See, that all sounds kind of gay. Well, the last part sounded gay, but it's just like he's just a little too soft for the Republican Party. Pardon a large portion of the people convicted of federal offenses for their participation in the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Sign an executive order instructing federal agencies to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transitions at any age. Punish doctors who provide gender affirming care to minors. Oh, we're gonna have a rough one. Get something done on abortion has declined to specify how many weeks into pregnancy would support a ban. It said, but what is he gonna do for like the rest of the normal people? I don't know. See, that's the thing is that regardless of like where you go for political information, it's just gonna be polarized to a side. To be honest, now I support Trump because of that gender affirming shit for minors. Like, yeah, I should be legal adult to do that. We have a shelter safe room in the apartment, but I'm worried that if Hezbollah Lebanon joins in, it's going to get much worse here. Yet, even with the Iron Dome, do you have family outside of Israel? Because it's definitely, I would imagine, like it's still difficult, but it would probably be easier than like trying to leave somewhere like fucking Palestine because you actually have an airport. But we're always focusing more on de-escalation. But yeah, the gender affirmation shit is so bad. I think it's a bigger problem, or not as big of a problem as we really think it is. But definitely, like cracking down on it couldn't hurt because it really is just like there's some fucking yeah, man. It's an issue. You know what I would love to see? I want to see like state-run mental institutions brought back. That's a really specific one, but that's mainly to deal with the homeless crisis, right? Because people are hating Jews in most countries now, so I don't know about leaving. Got a cousin in the UK, but I don't know. They don't hate you. They don't trust. Like, dude, seriously, you're like it's the loud minority. The thing is that like you can't trust the news on shit like this because it's just like they just want to shove the camera in the face of like, what do you mean? Oh, dude, if you went to America, you'd be fine. Especially if you went to a really liberal place. Like, dude, because here's the thing: is it's hard not to judge yourself based on your beliefs, right? But like where I live, right? Like I live in California, but I live in a place where no one gives a fuck, right? And it's not Los Angeles. Like people don't fucking care here. They want to live. People want to live. The average person, like, and this is what's been such a culture shock to me. Thank you. It's like, is that people want to just exist, you know? And you're a rational human being. You have reasonable concept of thought and shit like that. Don't you just want to be like you want to be treated like you're a person? You want to be treated like a good functioning member of society, which you are, you know? You can find that here. And like I would just say avoid big cities, dude. Like seriously, like if you go out somewhere like even like California, fucking Oregon, fucking New York State, like Florida, like you like big states with a lot of people, you will find really good like really good majority people where they don't care about who you believe, like what religion you believe in. They don't care about anything. They're gonna ask you how your day's going. They're gonna fucking like just have basic conversation because like most of the time, like when I go to walk my dog around my block, I run into the same neighbor all the time, and all we do is say hello to each other. If we want to mind our own business, we mind our own business. It's fine. It's totally fine. You might run into one or two people, but seriously, like I really struggle. Like America is a big fucking place. It is a big, big place with a lot of ideas and a lot of different ways of thinking. And if you can't find that here, you can't find it anywhere. And I really struggle to believe that you couldn't find what you're looking for here, right? And I would imagine it's the same thing with the UK. Like you, okay, the problem, like the UK is different though, because the UK is very, very, it's smaller and very much more like mixed. I would say try and like huff it to America. I would. I really would. You wouldn't struggle. I really like because here's the thing, especially if you offer something to community, right? If you're like if you have a valuable job, and I know you do like pharmaceutical shit. At least the last time you were here, I feel like most people would deem that as a valuable contribution. Just yeah, just don't be a dickhead. Talking about dogs, my heart breaks when I saw my dog learned how to get in the safe room during the fire alert. Yeah, you don't want to. There's a sense of innocence being taken away, especially from a dog that can't, like a creature that can't speak, and you feel sympathy for it. But I would just like genuinely like because I'm assuming you have passports. You have like I would just make sure paperwork and shit is in order. You know, like health cards, paper, birth certificates, whatever you use for like a social security number or whatever. I don't know what you have over there. Passports, basically anything you would need in a like to just quickly grab like that paperwork is probably more important than food and water in certain occasions. Like if you run into like a fucking like a checkpoint, you just like boom, like because in my house we have like that's what we have is that we have like anything that is like documentation of who you are is like immediately like in a grab, like all of it is in one grab and go. Yeah, just don't be a dickhead, which is like if you're just like nice, like just wave hello, say like, and you don't have to tell people where you're from. Yeah, and America canceled the need to have a visa, so maybe I just want to live my life in peace. Exactly. Fucking exactly. You could go like, dude, if I had to make a choice where I had to leave my home, right? Because it was in the threat of just like I would go probably somewhere in the Midwest. Like honestly, like not California, like somewhere like in that little band like Idaho, Ohio, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, like somewhere in there in that strip, you will find the nicest fucking people you will have ever met. Like seriously. Like I wouldn't even it's like I wouldn't go to Texas. Like I wouldn't go to Texas. I wouldn't go to I would say try and avoid California. Honestly, if you were to go to a West Coast state, I would say Washington State would probably be your best bet cuz like Washington is like the it's like it's still liberal, but it's like detached liberal if that makes any sense. It's just like it's all the good parts of it. But I would personally move to the Midwest where it's just like you can living expenses aren't cheap, or they are cheap. They're cheaper than pretty much anywhere else in the country. Like you can find like a good like, and I'm assuming like you still live with your parents, and if they work or if they don't work, you can get like cheap housing. You can get really cheap housing out there, and it's not even that bad. Maybe the standard might go down a bit, but it wouldn't be much. It wouldn't be much worse than what you're doing now, honestly. Like my friend's mom runs a trailer park. I want Israel to just be a safe place. I don't know about leaving. Both my grandparents survived the Holocaust. We deserve a place where we can just live our life. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I agree. And there is nothing saying that you can't go back. But as far as the individual, right? The individual, you want certain things, but there are just things that just probably would make a little more sense to just be like, I need to take care of myself. I need to look out for number one. I love my family. I don't get me wrong. It's like when I'm okay, I can help other people, and like your immediate surround, like your mom, your dad, family, like mom, dad, extended family, like whatever, like just just start with your circle, like make sure you're good, and then it's like okay, I want to help my mom and dad now. Okay, they're good. We're taken care of. Yeah, but I would definitely like have a game plan for just like and it's just like and it's, again, you don't want to no one ever wants to leave a place where they grew up, the place that's home. Like no one wants to do that. But it is turning into a time of a hard decision making process, and it's not your fault. Like that's the thing. You're doing great. Like it's no one's well, we know whose fault it is, but it's not yours, right? As far as the individual goes. But you need to look out for number 1. right? Look out for yourself, which is immeasurably more important than like whatever happens to your home, your country, your neighbors. Like you seriously, like that is like a million times the most important thing you could do. Especially if you could roll into a job, which I genuinely find it difficult to believe that you would do. Like I seriously like there's a lot of there is work out here. Like there's always going to be work out here. There's always going to be a place for somebody. Like I don't know if your parents are still in working condition, and I know you would prefer if they didn't have to work, but in a time like it's like in a time of war, every able-bodied person in one way or another has to support themselves, right? It just eases like the load off. I know I'm just kind of rambling here, but like it would just make everything just like that much easier. Maybe not on themselves, but it would just make it a little bit easier. Because you're out of school, like you're done, like you have all your paperwork and shit. Like I would take your degree, like I would just take anything of any importance. Like pack light, like no excess carry on. Like I would have like a bag that I would keep on. Like honestly, if I had to fly somewhere with all my paper, I would keep that shit fucking like taped to me. Like I would never let it anywhere off of my person. And the second I got somewhere to where I knew I was going to be okay, then you can kind of let your guard down a bit. But I would never let that paperwork go. Like no way. Because having that paperwork like is more I would say it's almost more important to have that paperwork in America because when you have that in America you go like okay, here's my passport, here's where I live, here's my medical card, here's everything you need to help me and I'm asking for help, right? Like seriously, because if you miss like one thing, like even a proof of residency, like of some kind, like but like I would say definitely like and it's not like you need to flee like tomorrow, right? I would just say like me personally, I would just make sure I have all my documents ready to go. I'm waiting for tomorrow to see what Nashal is gonna say slash do. Might consider leaving if he joins. I would. I mean, you could also go to like you could pretty much go wherever you want. I mean, but America would probably be that. That's so like because I just know the place. Like it's where I live. I can't speak on like if you went to like fucking like Sweden or something or Poland. I can't say for certain what's gonna happen there, but I know here that if you put in your work, you put in the effort, you try, like you will get something out of it. You may not get it from some people, but you should see a difference. And that's the important part. And then you can and like shit, when it all fucking dies down, you can add like there's no reason you can't go back. You just need to be able to be like, I'm safe for another day. You know? That's all that matters. It's like if you can almost just be like, I can guarantee them. I'm just glad you're not on the I picking a side. Dude, because it's so fucking obvious. I'm sorry, it just is. It's so obvious. And anybody who says otherwise, it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm not a sheep. I'm not a sheep. Like, having that like a wet noodle mentality is just like instead of trying to please everybody, you piss everyone off. Like you're just a fucking loser. It's like it's a people thing. You have to pick a side. It's a territory thing. It's a tribalism thing. You just have to fucking pick a side. You have to. And even when you don't pick a side, you do pick a side. It's just a gay one. Oh, one last thing. Is it like if you do come to America, the biggest benefit that you already have is you speak fluent English. Holy shit. That puts you miles, and I mean miles ahead of like anybody who doesn't speak English fluently. I know like like Spanish. I almost said Mexican. Spanish is is another language. Is like, but like seriously, most Americans don't even speak English. Exactly, but it's like I mean, like that shit really goes far. But anything to better your odds for tomorrow. I can't say you'll guarantee tomorrow because God never gives guarantees anyone the next day. But if you can better your odds, I'm always going to be on that side. I always lean towards the side of self preservation, which I don't think is a bad side to lean on. But yeah, take care of yourself. Take care, and then you can take care of your family. You can take care of your loved ones. You can put food in your belly. You can drink your. You can have your fluids. You can live. You can. Like like talking about this does make me appreciate like what I have. Like like these are experiences I thought about that I'm like you wouldn't really have these thoughts if you never started streaming. And I'm like, you know what? That is so damn true. Like I wouldn't appreciate some of the things as much without some of the shit that's like that I'm exposed to. And that is okie fucking dokie, bro. And I think the thing that people worry about in America is the guns. It's like, oh, everyone has a gun, but like I feel like that's where media really, 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 really gets in the way. Is that like, yeah, most people who have guns don't fucking use them on each other. You have to go to some really, really noticeably sketchy areas of the country to find stuff like that. Like seriously, like America loves to just like we love to put that on display. Like the most recent shooting in what Jersey, like that was like here we are safe. It's more about the mental state, like not knowing what's gonna come next. Yes, yeah. Peace of mind I would say is almost just as important as safety, because just like your mental, like your mind, if you go, you don't want your mind to go, which is like that's a long shot, but but if you can just kind of like make yourself be like, oh, I'm good, I'm chilling for today. I might be chilling for the next few days. Anything that gets you there. That's always the best part. But yeah, it's like it really bothers me that there are people that are just never going to. Like I don't know, but I'm just like Hassan. I'm just like I feel like that motherfucker is a Palestine supporter, and I'm just like, how could you be so wrong? Like how could you be how is that possible? I know people come to Twitch to just kind of like avoid politics, they avoid shit, but it's like you know what I mean? It's just fucking oh my god. Because like okay, I'm thinking about it if it wasn't fucking Israel. Like imagine this happened somewhere else, right? Somewhere like okay, like someone fucking imagine it was in this country. Like imagine someone killed like 300 people in fucking killed 300 people in fucking like Sweden. Like you never hear the end of it. There's a politics category and there's the biggest shit place ever. I'm not gonna I just need to see it. I just need to see it for myself. I'm not gonna click on any streams. I just need to see it for a second. I just can't imagine just like starting your stream, right, and immediately going like, "Yep, we're doing politics today. We're gonna do politics every day," and I'm just like, "Man, do you just not want to be happy?" A lot of Russian, and I'm assuming a lot of Ukrainian right now. No, oh no, there it goes. Miss me with that shit, man. I'll have my opinions, and it's just like sometimes, depending on the situation, I'll keep it to myself. But like shit like this, no way. Because here's the other thing, right? People that have never been outside of the U.S. just saying "Free Palestine" after knowing what Hamas did is just like I have no words for it, dude. It's so crazy because like I've never left like the country. I was in Canada for like 5 seconds. Like I've never left the country, and it's like I have friends like who barely left the country, and we're all just like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like there's no amount of culture that you can ingest that would just like they're on the it's genuinely like you're on the wrong side of history. And the reason we know that you're on the wrong side of history is because the people who support Israel have actually read a history book. Seriously, like it's just like, dude, like these people need your support. And the first thing you're doing is just like, ugh. Like I'm sure if I opened like one of those really bad websites, like you'd see some fucked up shit. And I'm trying not to go to that place because I don't need to see the butchering of innocent people or soldiers regardless of whatever's going on. But like I'm aware. I'm very aware. Like dude, like when you say like when you're describing, I'm like, oh, it's like a cartel video, but on a bigger scale. Like I would say like a good amount of people on the internet know exactly like the scale of like what the fuck is happening, and we're not okay with it. That's the other thing is like we are not fucking okay with it. It's disgusting. It's like I'm sure there's some great Palestinian people. There's like 200 bodies that haven't been identified. That says a lot. Like, dude, like they will leave no stone unturned. There will be no building left fucking demolished, like undemolished. I think the only part of darkness that I really see is that like I don't know what your political system is like. I don't know who's making that decision. So that's like the only part that I'm like in the dark about. But as far as just like a person to person individual basis, I can see it pretty fucking. I feel like I can see it pretty clearly. of people just going, just being butchered and fucking, like, if you're holding the head of a woman as a trophy, like, you're a sick, sick person. Like, I mean, you have to look back and again, like, history is the greatest teacher of just what the fuck, you know? Because, like, you can go back to, like, pretty much any point in history and just see, like, the just evil of people. And you're just like, you don't even need to go back that far either. I mean, seriously, man. Like, we think nukes are the worst of it, but I mean, like, as far as human suffering, okay, like, I'm just gonna pick like a random thing out of the hat here, like, I think about fucking like something like Vlad the Impaler, someone who is literally known through history as just like this evil person, right? And you're just like, oh shit, like, what did he do? He impaled people, women, children, pregnant women, men. He made people watch people get impaled. He fucking ripped out, like, he did evil things. And you just read it for 5 minutes. You just look at his fucking Wikipedia page for like 5 seconds. You're like, this is the most evil person I've ever heard about. Oh my god. And then you're like, okay, so now take this guy, right? The idea of this person, what he did, and apply it to this people, multiple people. You're just like, oh, that's disgusting. How could you even fucking do that? Exactly. There you go. Like, it's that simple. Well, what about Israeli shooting people at the border? And they're just like, yeah, they never hide it. It's just like they're also trying to break into a country. It's such a fucking. It's just it just feels so ignorant. I'm not saying my government is perfect or that everything was perfect before, but nothing that we did before would make that right. Exactly. And I feel like in those cases of like it's on the individual side, like the same way this is, right? It was the scale of it, You probably like in America we have that too. We have bad eggs. Every fucking country, regardless of where you are, has a bad egg or two. And Hamas using their own people as human shields. Oh yeah, like dude, we are all victims of bad choices, right? And like you could probably, it's like, oh, there was an Israeli border guard who shot somebody for crossing the border and they died. It's like, oh shit, that sucks. It's awful. Like, and there were still Hamas soldiers who fucking just, I don't even want to talk about what they did. I mean, it was awful. I saw, dude, I saw like the nothing like bloodshot. The thing that always hits me whenever I see shit, it's the reactions to people of it happening. That I've seen people run over by fucking like trains, cars, blown apart, blown up. I've seen someone go from alive chatting 1 second to just on the floor not making a sound. And it doesn't hit as hard as seeing people being dragged away against their will, being ripped away from their babies. Like, it like hurts your soul. Like, it's something, it's such a deep kind of pain, and it's like right there. It's like right there, right at the center of your body. Like, you literally feel it in your soul, and you're just like, this is evil. This is what evil is. You know, like, you can look at it through history and say like, oh, what's evil? It's like killing a bunch of people. Yeah, no, it's like it's you're immediately like brought back to reality, and like, this is a real person who grew up, like, went to school, had friends, ate dinner, found true love, and then this is happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's the that's where my head goes. And I do see it on the fucking Hamas side too. Like the when they started showing like that, like some of the Hamas soldiers that they were killed, and they started pulling out these fucking ID cards that were like, oh, they can work here. I'm like, this is the guy giving you fucking ice cream the day before. You know, this is the guy handling your fucking Chinese food. This is your cab driver, and you're just like, you made decisions that led you to this point. How could you do that? You know, like it's just it's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of emotions, and a lot of which I don't feel like oh man. The other thing is they blow up numbers of dead people and fake some of the bodies. Like, dude, like the disrespect that they're animals. They're fucking animals. Like you struggle to even like you look at some of these people and you're just like I think of the same way with like a Mexican cartel beheading video. You know, I don't understand a word they're fucking saying, right? But the actions they're doing is that like I don't care if you're a religious person or not, and I don't consider myself to be the most religious person on the planet, but I do believe in some higher power. And you just look at this and you're like, I want you to try to justify what you're doing. You know, I dare you, to anybody who's willing to listen. I fucking dare you to try and justify the evil act that you just committed. Even if it's just something of just like shot to the back of the head, right? Quick and easy. But they were defenseless. They were helpless. It was a person. It is a person that you have just described, that you have just chosen shouldn't be alive anymore. You made that choice to take away the only thing that was ever guaranteed given to them when they won the birthing race, you know? You took that away from them. You made that decision. No one else did. You did. Because in that moment you thought you were God. And there's a great, I don't remember who said it, but there's a great quote. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you can see that with individuals when they when like when you see mass kidnappings, you're like, you know what's going to happen is mass rape, torture, and murder, because humans get so high on power, even this little inkling of it that they think is theirs. It's their fucking God-given right to do this to you people, and you're just like, what fucking sheer amount of hubris could you possibly have? What amount of mental gymnastics could you possibly convince yourself that this is okay? Even if you were like peer pressure, I'm like, normal people don't do this. Like, functioning members of society don't do this. And it's just like, oh, they like breaking out of the curve, whatever. They're society, blah blah blah, and you're just like, but they treat it like a video game, you know? Like when I blow someone's head off in Red Dead Redemption, you know, it's a video game. It's pixels. It's lines of code. It's like you to to just put yourself in a situation, right, where you could hold the gun and just be like, kill them, kill this person, do it, because you still have that choice. You still have that choice to just not do it. Yes, there are there are things that are it's just like, you know, like again, I keep bringing up World War II, but it's like there was a reason during the Nuremberg trials that like even just the guard who just let people in and out, was still convicted just as harshly as someone who fucking committed the actual crime, right? Because regardless of how clean you think your hands are, they're not. It's their it's their own funeral, man. I'm telling you, man, it's their own fucking funeral. They're gonna pay the price. Whatever that price is, it's gonna be steep. It is going to be fucking ludicrously expensive. Not money. It's not going to be money. It's going to be social. It's going to be humanitarian. It's going to be anything. It's not going to be fucking monetary. That's for sure. They're gonna. I mean, they're gonna lose what land they think they have. They're gonna lose loved ones. They're gonna lose children. They're gonna lose like all for what? Evil produces evil. Like you started this. Hamas started this. You're not going to exist anymore. Like the rest of the world can almost guarantee it. Because like all the people who say free Palestine, I'm like, what if that same person? What if these people who on paragliders flew down into your city with AK-47s and saw your grandparent like just walking down the street with their kid, with your kid or a grandchild, and they just looked at him and went bang. Like that's what these people, the people who say free Palestine, they don't think like that. They don't put in that effort to make that connection. I'm like, seriously, imagine if this was your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your grandparent, or like you know, who like, seriously, and just went bang. Imagine, and they can't do it. They can't do it. They can't. They can't think that three dimensionally. They're just going with the underdog to feel good about themselves. They are, and they are going to regret it because as time passes, right? Let's say 10 years down the line, in their in what they are, will know that they were like, I supported butchers. I supported evil people, right? I supported bad things to happen to people, regardless if they were good or bad. Like I think the same way about the Russian Ukraine invasion. It's just like you are making bad things happen to people regardless of who they are. I guarantee that the ones rooting for Palestine don't even know what's happening. They're just saying shit. It's mob mentality. They're just yelling because everyone else is yelling. They are. They are. It's disgusting. Like I'm not the most informed person, but the second I saw those videos of like them coming down and just shooting a crowd of people, it's like, like we saw the fucking like any school shooting in America. Like I feel like it should resonate more in America. They're fighting to fit in the crowd into crows. It's just bad apples. It's just like we should sympathize more with it because like we see it, but just because it's on the other side of the ocean, just because it's on the other side of the planet, we just think it's different. I'm like, dude, did we learn like okay, like the Las Vegas shooting, right? Like the Las Vegas shooting was like awful. Like it was literally like it was like the same thing. It was a dude shooting down from a 50-story building into a crowd of people at a concert, right? It was the same thing. And it was just like the most evil thing, like deplorable. We hate this person. We hate this person. We hate this person. Now imagine that across multiple people. Why does that suddenly become different? The action doesn't justify the reaction, Like there's just nothing. You can't justify it. You can't. And only fucking like evil people try to justify it. Like I can't think. It's just like I don't know what happens when you die, right? But I can. It's just like I don't even like to believe, but I just am like, could you imagine just like walking up to God and just going like, so you supported this, like you did this, like you didn't kill them, but like you saw it, you know, like you saw what was happening, and you still supported it. Why? It's like it's not a sin to support something like a cause like that, but it's just like it just doesn't make you look very good, does it? Like I've done some stupid shit in my life, and I know it's been stupid. It's just a fucking. I mean, And I definitely look at it more deeply than most people because I'm a person. I have empathy and sympathy for what happens. But yeah, I want the people that say that or not picking a side to come here for one day. They would shit their pants for the first alert that goes on. They would never. That's the thing. That's the thing. They would never go. They would never go, and I would stand. I stand by that. I would drive them to the fucking airport and like put your money where your mouth is. Go buy a plane ticket to go to Israel. You don't even have to go to Palestine. Just go to Israel. Go to Israel and just see. Just go see. Just do it. Just do it. Live amongst the people that you don't support, or go to the people you do support. If your plane isn't shot down before it fucking gets there, like good luck. I'm not saying Palestine shouldn't be its own country, but they don't believe in two-state solution. They just want Israel to be gone. And like I've done my basic looking up, and I'm just like, dude, I'm aware of like the history of both of these countries, and they every instance in history, Israel has offered a solution. They've offered compromise. And that's the thing I respect the most. I literally said it earlier. Like I respect compromise. I respect where the line is drawn, but the only thing that works with compromise is a two-party system. You have to have both sides compromise on something. Someone's not going to get exactly what they want. And every single time Palestine has said no. 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 And I genuinely don't think they would be satisfied even if they had all the land. Because that's the thing with a greedy little fucking piglet is they just want to suckle until they can't fucking move. They don't want it because the thing about control and domination is end. It doesn't end at one place. It continues. And the thing is, it's just like as we get deeper and deeper and deeper into the future and in history, it doesn't work. It works less and less and less. Seriously. Like as technology gets more and more advanced and as shit just gets more and more deadly and like you can literally basically kill someone with the flick of a switch, like it doesn't become a control for land anymore. It becomes just cultural social suicide. Generational suicide. Like there are bloodlines that are being ended right now as we speak, and it's entirely their own fault. Here, hold up. I need to piss really quick. I will be back. Your boy has returned. Yeah, I mean, fucking ridiculous, retarded, stupid. And I mean, well, like, I have a pretty strong feeling of what's gonna happen, and the people who support Palestine are not going to like it. No, they are not. Not one bit. I just hate the people who just go like, they're like, well, what's your opinion on Hamas? Well, Hamas is not the root of the issue here, and it's like, yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is the entirety of this issue, actually. These people just wanted to fucking live their lives, but knew someone on the other side of this chain link fence thought, what if they just weren't happy or alive? Oh shit, my bad. I have a fucking. I, oh, that was loud. To Electric Avenue. Faux show, King. Faux show. I'm gonna figure out what to do here on my end. We didn't really game today because Lawless is prepping for his last race of the season. Um, I wish I could fucking borrow games while I was streaming. I mean, I could, but it would fucking destroy stream's quality and make everything broken. uh, hmm. New Sam Selleck New Sam Selleck video. We'll watch that later. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to find something to. How to kill their business? Quiznos, bro. You know what? This is Bruh. Oh, I mean, oh, wait a minute. After this video, I got another one. Quality control. Quality control. Cutting corners. That doesn't sound very good. Shit, I want a sandwich. Oh boy. Who flips a coin like that? Like I just like, it, there's no point where they're just like, oh, it's too much money. Fuck it, we don't need it. You know, who gives a shit? How much money do you need? Christ, the fact they made any money at all. Let's go. Whoa. Oh, they did. Bro. Oh yeah. What? It sounds like a slur. Bruh. $206 million. Let's go. Oh man, it's so weird. Oh, it's a miracle they had any. Why? Oh my god. Greedy. I remember there were fucking Quiznos everywhere. What is. Hold on. There was a different video. It's a Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets. Was it a Kamikaze Cash video? Yes. Yes, it was. One must imagine that Sisyphus is happy. Oh, brother. Let's do it. Let's go. Huh? Oh shit. Sounds about right. Holy shit. You just walk away. Fucking hell. Alright. Oh boy. Bruh. Just go to school. Aww. Bro. 35 grand. Oh my god. How? Bro, I fucking get stressed out when I have like $50 on the line sometimes. Yeah, no. Oh! Man. Bruh. Oh! Wait, that's sick. That's so cool. Like, he could have just sat on that money because he had access to American markets. He literally just could have been sitting there raking the dividends, never had to work a day in his life, and he threw it away. Oh my god. So wait. I hate that he didn't put a date on this. This was in September, and he was short. Oh, he scored, dude. So mid. So yeah, it's mid October. He wrote this at peak. Oh, dude, he scored. He scored. Cause then it dropped fucking yeah, it dropped like $30. Dude, he fucking scored. Oh, it's definitely back now. This is what okay, this is the difference between like this guy and the people he reviews is that like I'll go back and actually look, and I think that's what this guy does wrong with this. He did a trading a trading challenge and he failed, right? But the thing is that this Italian guy's system is working. That's the thing. It's working. Yes, he's taking big losses just but it's like he's fucking scalping. Like that's what he's doing. He's just going boom, 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 and there's no stopping it. And it's working. Like that's all that needs to be said. It's working. So it's like the fact that he's like criticizing him for not changing anything. I would advise if I was like this guy's financial planner or advisor. I would just say like, hey man, take like 100 grand of it, or like for every like dollar you make, put half of it into a long term, and then you secure yourself, and then you can just play around and fuck around with as much money as you want. That's like the only thing I would add to this. The thing is he doesn't need to know what the top of his mountain looked like, right? You consider it all taking some of the returns from each trade to buy shares. You mean to go long on Nasdaq or buy shares for other companies using some of the gains from the CFD to buy shares of anything long term shares like QQQM? Why not just buy QQQ, SCHD, or Verizon? Wait, what? Wait, that's Verizon. Is that Verizon? Hold on, VT. Hold on. What did he tell him to buy? No, it's the Vanguard fund. Like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't. From a couple of months, I started to withdraw every Friday a percentage of the weekly profits to put in the bank. But I haven't been in any long term investment for over a year. Had an ENI of 5%, ENEL of 7%, generally 5% dividends. But I had too much stuff to follow. Oh, and I'm embarrassed, so I go out. Okay, I mean that's a really simple fix. If he just ever fucking yeah. Why? I mean, it takes us. I mean, yeah, gamble. The dude's a gambler, but like, it's a really simple concept, and I'm just like, hey, man, like, I mean, it takes a special level of autism to kind of like ignore shit like that. Like, seriously, hey, man, to each his own. To each his fucking own. Um. All right, I'm kind of hungry, and I need to go work out, so I think I'm gonna call it for the day. Shorter stream. And then I will probably see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your evening. You stay safe. Hope to hear from you some more. And I love you fuckers. And I will see you guys when I see you. Love you. Kisses. Mwah. Stay safe.